morning, Tom Abraham here with another episode of The Great Wall of Craps. And you know, coming up, Alabama and Florida are going to play in their 10th SEC championship game. Now, Alabama has won 5 of those things. Florida has won 4. And it got me thinking a little bit about the Alabama section of the Great Wall of Craps. Everything is kind of broke up into little sections, but this is the Alabama section. This is all of the books and items that I've had sent to me from authors, and some are gifts and so on that have come from my kids, and I've read them all. They're just excellent books and so on about Alabama and the history of Alabama football. Got my Crimson Tide mini helmet here, which is fantastic. A little dated there with the 12 on it. We know that now it's like 17 or whatever it is, but my favorite coach of all time, Paul Bear Bryant. By the way, we share a birthday, both born on September 11th. Now, not the same day. I mean, he'd be like 110 years old now, 103 years old, I guess, now, and I'm not. So he was like 45 years older than me. But he is my favorite coach of all time, so he gets prominently displayed there. And who doesn't have one of these? I mean, everybody's got a couple of these, right? I mean, this is fantastic. This bottle of Coke is some, I don't know, 83, 82. So this is like 38 years old. My sons would drink this. I mean, they would absolutely drink this. But, you know, your Alabama collection is not complete unless you have 1 or 2 of those. And I actually have a couple of those. And different size mini helmets as well. There's a couple of other things that are interesting here. A cigar. This is from after a Tennessee game. This was actually given to me by somebody at the Alabama traveling team. I don't know who it was. I can't remember. But this was after a win at Neyland Stadium, right when Alabama began their dominance of Tennessee, however long was that, 13 years ago or so. This, okay, there's an interesting story behind this. This was the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, and this is my room key. I was covering the event. I did shows down there before it. It was the Washington Huskies against Alabama. It was the college football playoff semifinal game. I'm going to be totally honest with you now. I took my wife, you know, we call her a junkyard babe. I took my wife to the event, all right? I was going to go to the game and leave her in the hotel room. After I got done doing my shows and everything else, I had gone back to the hotel room. She said, the game's on TV, isn't it? And I said, yeah. She said, I think I could make it really comfortable here in the hotel room if you just want to watch the game from the room, if you know what I'm saying. I can't resist my wife in a hotel room. What can I tell you? I did not go to this game. All right, I covered this game. I did not actually physically go into the stadium for this particular game. I'm being totally honest with you. And the game itself was not very exciting, but watching the game was very exciting. Now, a game I was at in the stadium, 2009 SEC championship game. This is the Tim Tebow crying on the sideline game. I was literally standing about 5 paces away from Tim Tebow when he is on a knee crying with the white helmet on. It didn't even look like Florida Gators. I love Tim Tebow. This is not against Tim Tebow. I love him. So I'm standing on the field. Alabama's winning the SEC championship. It's the first one they had won in a number of years. And then all of a sudden, as the game ends, the heavens open up and all of the confetti comes flying down. And it gets all over my suit. And it's all of this blue, and there was some gold in there, confetti and so on. And it was all over my suit. So I literally was picking it off of my suit. I was doing some interviews and so on. I was picking it off of my suit coat, and I just had stuffed it in my pocket. Now, I left the field, and when I left the field, I walked back to the hotel room, and my shoes were covered in all of the tires, the ground-up tires from the field, okay? And this stuff here, this little black rubber that is on the field. This is from the old Georgia Dome now. And I picked it off my shoes, and I threw it all in this baggie. And it's not quite like taking a piece of turf off of the, Shea Stadium when the 1969 Miracle Mets won the World Series. But I thought it was kind of cool that I had some of the shavings from the field and some of the confetti that came down after Alabama won that first SEC championship in quite a while. I threw it in this bag, and I've thrown it on the shelf. And it has been here on the Great Shelf Wall of Craps ever since. This pin here, remember when it was the Sears Trophy? This I actually got in 1992 when I was still coaching. I got this at the American Football Coaches Association convention, which was in Atlanta, ironically. And I was a coach at the time, college football coach at the time, and that was the year that Gene Stallings and Alabama won the national championship. And for some reason, we were all given these pins, and I kept it forever. It had nothing to do with my broadcast career. I just kept it forever. Now, one other item on the Great Wall of Craps Alabama shelf is this whistle on this lanyard. And this is kind of a cool deal, too. This is actually my son's whistle from 2000. And this is from Nick Saban's very first year coaching at Alabama. And my son was a student assistant coach, my oldest son, who's now a general manager of a 3-station radio cluster. He was an assistant coach, a student assistant coach on that Alabama team. This was his whistle. This was his lanyard. And he gave it to me after the season. He said, and he knew I had been a coach. I thought by now I would be coaching on my son's staff. He got done coaching, went to Middle Tennessee, coached there for 3 years, and then at the end of it told me, he said, Dad, I don't want to be a college football coach. It's too all-consuming. I want to do what you do and go into the radio business. And I'm like, I want to do what you do, and I want to go back into the coaching business. Didn't happen that way. But anyway, a cool keepsake here. My son's lanyard from the year he spent on the sideline at Alabama. So that's it. This is the Alabama section, right below the Cleveland Browns section. We'll get into that in another day. But the Alabama section of the Great Wall of Craps. Now do me a solid, will you? Subscribe, like, share, press buttons, tell other people about it, send out smoke signals. Let's get this YouTube channel going. I really appreciate it. We'll be back again soon.